Hi, we're Steve and Laura. We're a recently retired couple who love to travel, so we flew.
We arrived in Spain and we were welcomed by pickpockets at the Barcelona airport train station as we were getting on the train.
They took my phone out of my pocket as we were getting on the train, and we felt like we were prepared. Steve's pants all have zippered pockets. I have this purse by PackSafe, which is awesome. But we hadn't done the real preparation, which was more about having a system and just being aware of things around us. My first mistake actually was not putting my phone back in my purse after I used it to buy our tickets to get onto the train. I put it in the pocket of the dress I was wearing.
We also felt rushed. We arrive in a town and we feel a little bit of anxiety about where do we go, how do we catch the next train to where we want to go to. And so as we were getting on, we didn't have any idea how long the train was going to be there. So I rushed on. I turned to try to help Laura get on. She had her backpack and her suitcase and was trying to lift it, and some people got between us and
Helping.
helped her. And by the time we were done, well,
My phone was gone. I realized it fortunately within about 5 minutes. I sat down and I realized I didn't know where my phone was. And so we realized really quickly, we looked around the seats, we looked behind us and everything, we couldn't find it. I thought maybe it had dropped between where I got the tickets and getting on the train. So we actually got off the train and I went and asked the guard about it, and he just shook his head and said, stolen. It's not lost, it's stolen. So of course, huge panic because everything's on your phone. But we were able to use I have the Apple Watch. We were able to use the Apple Watch to lock my phone and my iPad to, make it more secure even. And we also called T-Mobile and they were able to make sure my account was locked.
so unfortunately, we spent our first full day in Barcelona really just trying to get new phones, get activated, to feel like all the accounts that information was on the phone, those accounts were secure, and get it back up and going. So it ruined a day. It definitely spoiled the mood for us for a day or two, and it was a hard lesson.
Not really a great way to start our trip. However, we realized that there were some things that we could have done that would have probably prevented this, and that is to have some systems. Now, if there's any stairs, so we both have a carry-on bag and a backpack that with a trolley sleeve that goes over the handle. So now if there's stairs, we both wear our backpacks. Steve carries both of the suitcases up the stairs. If there's a door involved, like if we're trying to enter a building, I go first. I hold the door open for Steve so that we don't have to rely on strangers to help us with that.
Yeah, when we get on and off trains, we're doing it the same way. I'm gonna take both the suitcases and my backpack, and she'll get on first and turn around and make sure I don't need any help.
Yeah.
And I'll get on, and we will hopefully never need a stranger to help us get on or off or upstairs.
And both of our suitcases and backpacks aren't so heavy that we can't manage them ourselves. So we really don't need the help of strangers. One of the other things that we did is I noticed as we were panicking about my phone that Steve had his passport and his phone in his shirt pocket. And so one of the first things we did was we bought Steve a fanny pack, and just so that he can have it zipped and secured, rather than having it somewhere where it's easy for somebody to grab.
And we both have phone lanyards now that we can put the phone around our neck and over an arm and make sure that we feel secure in that way.
Yes. And one of the other things that we've learned is to breathe and to build in a little extra time. Most of the time, we are not in a rush. We're not trying to catch a train or a plane or anything like that. We have a minute. So we will take the time at the metro station or the train station and look at the map and make sure we're getting on the right one, or we'll go and talk to a ticket agent and make sure we're buying the right ticket for the right thing. And we just take that extra minute, and we find that when we do that and we're not panicked, we make much better decisions, and we are way more calm, and we can use, the things that we've put into practice.
So we eventually did get on the train, and we were headed to a city called Barcelona, which is north of Barcelona. And we were both a little frazzled, having just lost the wallet. I was trying to keep track of where we were on the train, and we got off a couple exits after we were supposed to. We found out that the trains were going underground, and we lost the GPS signal, and so I kept thinking we were further behind than we were. And so one of the things that we also need to do is we just need to assume we're going to lose Wi-Fi and GPS on these trains underground, and we have to. Sometimes they're in different languages. Sometimes the alphabet's different, like in Turkey or Greece or Bulgaria or something. And so you just have to count the stops and keep track of them. Follow on the map that's on the train. There's usually a map on the train, so now we sit very close to that so that we can keep track of our stops. And that's been an important addition also, to try to make sure that we always know where we're at on the train as it travels.
We've learned some really hard and expensive lessons in Barcelona, but we do feel better prepared for the rest of our adventures, and we hope this has helped you. Safe travels.
Safe travels.